How you doing, guys? I hope you're doing well. Karibuni sana. I don't know if we are focused. Just a minute. I hope you're doing well. Karibuni sana. To the new people, my name is Betty Kanja. I'm born again. I love Jesus, and this channel is all about life in general, and more specifically, beauty, lifestyle, just candid conversations around faith and all that. So karibu sana if you are a new viewer today, and if you are a returning subscriber, karibu sana sana sana. Thank you for your continued support on these videos and on this channel. Let's get to the 1K subscribers before the end of this year. Please guys, if you watch this video and you're not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. I promise good content, I promise quality, I promise everything that is good, and the good vibes that are around here, and encouragement and everything, just basically everything. So today I'm gonna be hanging out with you guys and letting you in on some of the occurrences that have happened in my life that have made me who I am today. And I think you're gonna love it, you're gonna enjoy it, you're gonna be encouraged by this. As the title suggests, I'm gonna be sharing the most personal things that have happened to me, or journeys that I've had in my life. And I know I've shared this on other platforms, but I feel like I've never opened up really on this channel, and that's so unfair. And the other day I was just thinking, how unfair can I be to be sharing on other people's platforms about this journey, this part of my life, this part of my past, but I've never shared on this channel. So it is time, like we always say, God's time is the best. So sit back, relax, take a cup of tea, and let's get right to the video. Also, I have my cup of tea. Yay! How cute is this cup though? Yeah, it's my mom's though. So you're gonna be I'm having some tea because it's very, very cold outside. It's actually even raining. So yes, have yourself a cup of tea and let's get started as we do our makeup. Yeah. So disclaimer, we are using natural light, so because there are no lights. I don't know what happens whenever it rains in Nairobi. Okay, not in Nairobi, I'm not in Nairobi, but I don't know what happens when it rains. The electricity just disappears. I don't know the theory behind that, but yeah, there are no lights, so I'm using natural light. So please bear with me right now, and yeah, let's get right into it. And how hot is this topic though? I know most of you, sometimes it's easy to think when you see someone in here or on YouTube, especially YouTube and Instagram is a place where there can be a lot of pressure, that is a primer I'm using. There's a lot of pressure when it comes to lifestyle, clothing, branding yourselves, and you can be easily tempted to think that people's lives are perfect, or they've always been like that. But I'm just here to say that my life has not been perfect. I am not perfect myself, and there's nothing like perfect. And even though you see people out here pretty, looking good, spreading vibes, they have come from wow, they've come from somewhere. And do not be tempted to think that, and most people may think that their lives are the only ones that are not perfect. But let me just tell you that people come from places, and I'm just here to let you know that I am one of those people. And even right now, I'm not where I want to be, but I am content in the place that God has placed me. So it all started in the year 2013 when I started experiencing a lot of emotional torture from my then boyfriend. And I think I talk a lot about boyfriends though. on this channel lately. But yeah, that's the case. So we started having issues. We had dated for a whole a year and a half, I think so, almost 2 years. And there has been a lot of emotions involved, and it was time, it came a time where we had to cut it off, but it didn't go so well with me. I experienced a lot of emotional torture to a point I wanted to die. Those I was very young and naive, and I was just in love. Just like any other person, you're just in love and you're crazy. But this guy, okay, I don't want to put the blame on him, because it could be that I also was to blame about the whole thing, but everything was meant to be, because where it pushed me was a place of discovering myself and what I really want out of this life, and how I really want people to treat me, and to be just kind with myself, and just take it easy with myself. Yeah, so a lot of emotional torture. We broke up. I was so affected. My emotions were so affected. I remember always crying every single night about the whole thing. That perfect, when you love someone, you want to spend the rest of your life, and you have this picture of spending the rest of, okay, there's a plane, spending the rest of their life with you, as in you've pictured this having beautiful kids with him or her. It could be a guy though. And all of a sudden that whole picture is just scattered. And so you have to now start making peace with the fact that it's not gonna happen. What you had pictured is not gonna happen. So there was a lot of strain when it came to my kizungu, when it came to my emotions. And I realized that the first thing that came into my mind was that I wanted to go as far as possible. Remember, I was very young. Let's first do eyebrows. I was very young and very naive. Eyebrows done. I've realized we may take forever doing eyebrows, so I had to do it off camera. But if you want to see how I do my eyebrows, please check in a video below. I'm gonna link it below for the full makeup video. But yeah, also my hair, I've realized my hair is gonna be a problem, so I've pushed it at the center. Where were we? So as I was saying, so it pushed me to demand or to expect more when it comes to my emotions, not settle for less. And I think that is what that relationship pushed me to know and to discover. But yeah, so later on, what happens is, like I told you, I wanted to go so far away from this. The way you've dated someone and you've gone to places with them, and everything around is just reminding you about them. So for me, I couldn't take it easy with that, so I decided to go. Where was I going? There was no, like, I didn't have money. I just, okay, when I tell you this, you're gonna start doing calculations. But yeah, I was fresh from high school, so I had started to, I didn't have much money, I didn't have much savings, but I had a very good job. I don't know what I was doing with my money. I think I was also so much invested with my money on the relationship, the way, anyway. So what happened, I decided to travel outside the country. Where was I going? The only option for me was in Saudi Arabia. And I think to some people it sounds so crazy. People are like, oh, why could, oh, we have some foundation out there. Why couldn't you go anywhere else? But guys, at that time, if you told me even in Afghanistan, I would have gone. I was just so ready. I just wanted to go as far as possible, and at the same time to a place where I'll be able to get my healing. For me, in my head, I wanted to heal, but I knew I couldn't heal anywhere. And there's a certain radio presenter who asked me, couldn't you just go to Nyeri or Muranga or whatever? But at that time I wasn't thinking like that. I felt like, also there was another reason why I wanted to go somewhere I could just transform my life and change my life forever. I just come back as a successful, the way you come out of a toxic relationship and you're thinking, I want to be a better person to prove to these people that I can be good, I can be successful, I can be everything good. They start, so that they can see that they lost something. That was what was in my mind, and that can be really dangerous, to think that you are doing something so that someone will look back and think that they lost you. But just do it for yourself. I would tell my younger self right now, just do it, but do it for yourself, not to prove to anyone anything. But yeah, I landed in Saudi Arabia, and the kind of job I was doing wasn't a good one. And for the longest time, I've never wanted to really disclose that. In fact, I've started disclosing disclosing this this year. I think that's when I was now able to open up and tell people, you know what, this is what happened. But I think for a long time I didn't want to tell people. I didn't want people to know. So I got to Saudi Arabia. I have very nice bosses, and I'm working there. And at the same time, I'm finding my healing. So I would really do my researches on how to heal from a toxic relationship, how to be this and that and that. Looking for happiness in all ways possible, and peace of mind and everything. And I think if I look back, it worked, because after a whole 7 months, I started now feeling that, the way you feel the healing, to a point that even if you saw this person, you wouldn't feel anything. Even if you saw this person, there wouldn't be any kind of emotional attachment with them. I think after 7 months, that's how I started feeling so. But still, I still doubted myself. Remember, I'm in another country, so I still doubted myself. And this person, I even changed accounts on my, if you look at my Facebook accounts, my Instagram accounts, I had changed everything. And was there Instagram at that time? I don't remember. No, I think okay, if you know when Instagram was invented, just let me know in the comment section. I don't remember. But I remember Facebook, I changed my account, and so that this person will not reach out to me and distract my my peace and the kind of feeling I was chasing. So 7 months I healed. Trust you me. No, I started healing. Let me put it that way. I started healing, and within a year I had already healed completely. And I remember just going back to my old account and logging in and stuff like that, and looking at my inbox. I found a very big message from him telling me how sorry he was and how he regrets everything and blah 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 blah. But I had already moved on in the sense that I didn't have any other guy in my life, because then in Saudi Arabia you cannot have a guy. But I had moved on. Like, my mindset, my emotions was detached from them. And I can tell you for a fact that healing is such a relief. In the beginning, you never see it. Like, you never believe you'll ever get healed. But the moment you take the steps and you surround yourself with the best people, and you keep yourself busy with your own life and forget everything, you're gonna heal. I'm telling you. If you're at that place where you're wondering, will I ever heal? Trust you me, from my word, you're gonna heal. It's just a matter of time. Just keep yourself busy, do the right things, inhale positivity, and surround yourself with the right people, and you're gonna heal. You're not even gonna realize it. You're gonna just heal. So I healed, and when I healed, that's when again my mind started coming back to, whoa, where am I? What happened? Why did I choose this decision? Why did I decide to come to Saudi Arabia? And I'm like, whoa. Hey, this was a tough decision. But then I wasn't like thinking right. When you're hurting, you're not thinking right. So I made the decision out of pain, anger, resentment, all that. And all of a sudden, after healing, I'm realizing, oh my God, I'm in Saudi Arabia, the place where people are killed, the place where everything bad happens, the place where they have very bad reputation. But then I had to now start thinking of ways to come back home. Okay, if I were to describe myself back then, I was a very naive person, but at the same time, I was very ambitious. And at the same time, I used to make decisions in a very haste manner, which is something I've worked on. Nowadays, I take my time to think about it. What are the results? What do I expect? What are the expectations? How is it going to affect me emotionally, mentally, everything, socially? But then I wasn't thinking, so it was just, I'm going to go, then we go. I'm gonna do this, then we do this. So so now I start thinking, oh my God, how did I make this decision? What made me do this? So I started thinking of ways to come back to Kenya, and it wasn't easy because it was a journey, my friends. It was a journey because you don't just get in there and leave, especially if you signed a contract and if you had made a commitment. Of course, the contract is always 2 years, but I didn't feel like finishing the rest of the year, another whole year there. So I remember I worked for a few months, and then I started facing a lot of, the way the universe works around your thoughts. Like, if you're thinking about something, the universe keeps confirming to you, or when you put it out there, the universe works on your behalf. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I started feeling like this is not where I'm supposed to be. There's no freedom, there's no comfort. You're in someone else's land. If you've ever been to Saudi Arabia, please comment below. Let me know how you're coping up. If you're there, let me know how you're coping up. If you've ever been there and you came back to Kenya, please let me know how your experience was. But for me, it was just an adventurous. I wouldn't quote it as a bad experience, but it was all internal battles within me. It was never about the surroundings, because I think, and I thank God for that, because I had the best employer. I had the best things were happening, even though not so good, but I've had bad stories about other people. So I can say for me it wasn't that bad, it was better. So I started, a mission back to Kenya. At this time, I've earned a little money. I've saved a little money. Not so much, because I know some people will save millions of money. Not so much, but for me, back then, it was never about money, actually. It was just, I was so much focused on peace of mind. I was so much focused on. So I started plotting to come back to Kenya, and it's not easy, because then it wasn't easy because you don't just get in there and leave. And also because I had not finished my contract. There were still a few months to go. I don't remember how many months though, but I was so certain I want to go home. All of a sudden, everything was wrong in that place. All of a sudden, I'm back to my senses, and I'm thinking I shouldn't have made these decisions, and all of a sudden I miss my family. All of a sudden, I'm thinking, wow, the kind of life that I left. And I'm thinking, how could I do this for someone? How could I do this? How could I let someone take control of my decisions in such a manner? And I want to talk to young people, especially on the dating period, whereby you've allowed that person to take control of your life. You've allowed that person to be the center of your decision making, the center of your every move that you make in life, unless you're married. But if you are still dating, don't forget yourself, guys. Don't forget yourself. Don't forget yourself at all. Always make sure you're doing things your own way, without the influence of someone else, or I don't know, you guys, I know what, you know what I mean when I say that sometimes you can make decisions based on other people's, you know, idea of us, or of our wants, or of our interest, you know. Do it for yourself. If I knew better that time, I would have done it for me and not to prove anything. So I start coming back. It's not easy. There's a back and forth. There's a whole month wasted, because I remember for you to come back, there has to be approvals from your bosses, approvals from the people who brought you. There's a lot. There's a whole process. If you know what I mean. If you guys, anyone from Saudi Arabia can tell you that it's not easy coming back, especially if you've not completed your contract. You know, you're bridging the contract, but okay, that was a bad thing. But like I told you, I used to make decisions in a very hasty manner, and if I could take that back, I would have done that. I would have at least waited to finish my contract before I could start. But there was a lot at stake, guys. There was a lot at stake, because there was no freedom. You're always fearful of what may happen, and I hate being in a place of discomfort whereby I'm thinking what's going to happen to me next. So I wanted to come back. All of a sudden I'm missing my family. All of a sudden I'm missing everybody back here. I'm missing my life back. I want my life back. So I come back here, and even though it was not that long time, I come back here and I face culture shock. Hey guys, culture shock is a real thing. You guys, I don't even know what I'm doing. What are we doing? I think we're done with the eyeshadow. It's not that bright, but we're gonna work with that, because we're actually not going anywhere. I'm just doing this for you guys. There's no way I'm going with this kind of weather. There's no way I'm going. So we're just gonna, for a moment I just thought I wasn't recording, but I'm recording. So what happened next? I come back to, after a lot of back and forth, I was back in Kenya. Of course, there are expectations with other people, with people you left behind. People expect that you have had a good time. You've come back with loads and loads of money, and everyone is trying to take advantage of you. They're trying to make you feel like you're supposed to help them in one way or another. And I don't know if I'm the only one who faced that again. But then this video is going with all love. I love you guys. Anyone who has ever been in Saudi Arabia, or even those Arab countries, it's not easy. It's not easy, especially if you are a Christian. It's not easy. But because I remember one instance, the reason why I'm saying, especially if you are a Christian, is because my concealer is finished. The reason why I'm saying, especially if you're a Christian, because these people, they tend to think that everyone should be a Muslim. You understand? They tend to think that everyone should be. I didn't feel the respect. In fact, there's a time we had a conversation with my boss. We used to be very social with her, and we used to talk even on things that are sensitive. And I was a curious person, wanting to know, like, how is your religion, how do you do this and that. So I remember one time we had a conversation, and I was asking her, we were discussing about the story of Jesus. You know, in the Bible, how the book of John is different from the book of Mark, but they are all telling the story of Jesus. And she used to have a problem with that. She'd be like, why are these people giving a story? It seems, and for me, for once, I was like, whoa, so you guys read the Bible and you know the Bible, you know? And she was telling me that the Bible is never straightforward. And I was like, okay, explain. 4 marks. But she went ahead and started telling me, the book of Mark tells a different story of Jesus. There are different things the different stories about Jesus. And I told her, yes, because right now, for instance, if right now I give her an example as like, if right now I was to give a story about you, I would give a story from my own experience, how I've experienced you, whether it's 2 years, whether it's 10 years, I'll give a story from them. And that is the case because they all experienced Jesus in different ways. So we used to have this kind of conversation. She would go ahead and start telling me, you should be a Muslim. And I'm like, that should be a personal decision. It's not about you telling me or pushing me or giving me reasons as to why I should. It is a personal decision. And sometimes it would be very, 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 it would go beyond to a point now that the fire is burning and you have to now put it off. Because no one is willing, I'm not willing to give up my Christianity or my religion because you've told me ABCD. She's also not gonna do that, but at the end of the day, you're in their land, so you have to be very careful, and cooperative. And that is why I say sometimes it can be hard if you are a Christian. It would be really hard if you're a Christian. Moving on, let me put, what am I supposed to put? I think I've put the concealer. I want to set it. I can see my powder. Oh, I see it. We're not setting with the setting powder. I'm just setting up with just some loose powder. But yeah, that was it. Coming back to Kenya, I face a culture shock, and there's a lot, you're trying to settle in. You're thinking, by the way, you guys, if anyone has ever gone out of the country for even a few months, you come back and you find things are different. Trust you me, I couldn't know Nairobi. I was getting lost in Nairobi, in the CBD, that is. But other than that, there are other things like, of course, things are moving. I remember even the super highway was just being built, and I couldn't tell what are these, And apart from that, there's also you trying to fit in. There's also you trying to, you find friends are married, people have moved on with life. There's a lot that has happened. And I think I wouldn't say that my life was, I wasted the 2 years. For me, I came back different, but I also found people different, The kind of friends I had were no longer my friends because they had moved on. Even if there was like catching up and trying to, see where we left our friendship, there's nothing to talk about. Someone has moved on, they've gotten married, others have had kids, others have a lot. Others have started business and they feel like you're not in their class and things like that. But also you're busy, because I remember I came back and I was very busy with my songs and all that. I released my song and I became very busy as well, so there was no that much time to catch up with friends. But hey guys, it's not easy. It's not easy. You come back and everyone thinks that you have this whole money to give out. I don't know why I'm stressing so much on the money part, because it affected me so badly. I remember sometimes you'd find, the way Kenyans we are, when you look at someone, you want to double the price for them because of how they look or because of how they appear. And I faced that a lot. I realized that if I don't go with someone who has been here to buy something, I may be overcharged, And that happens sometimes even right now. I may be overcharged. Someone is texting me. I may be overcharged, and that is not a good thing. It's not a cool thing. I don't know why people do that, but it's not cool. It's not a nice thing. Like, you see, there's a advertisement on TV about Airtel where a lady goes to buy mutura and she's told it's 200. She's double the price. That is so unfair. But yeah, that happened to me. Later on, coming back, trying to date, that's another issue because you don't know who is in for you and who you are and who is just there to, you know, for what you have or how you look and stuff like that. I face that a lot. I came back, and of course, like I told you, I had healed from my pain and everything, so I was very fresh. And I remember that space or that phase in my life very vividly, because that was the place where I knew that I was no longer the same person ever, and I was not gonna be the same again. One, because God gave me songs and I sang, and it was not it was now I was in a different place, even with God, with my faith. I trusted God, I surrendered more to God. But then I'm gonna tell you, the minute you discover what you are supposed to do, and the enemy sees that you already now have a clue of what you are supposed to do, I think battles come with that, and there's a price to pay for that. And life started becoming hard, and I'm gonna talk to someone who feels like they've just discovered their purpose, they've discovered their calling, and all of a sudden all hell broke loose, because you feel like, wow, I would have better just remained without knowing. But the moment you know, battles begin left, right, and center. Why is that? Because the enemy does not want us to discover what we are supposed to be doing. So the minute you do, battles will be there. Okay, so it is okay to surrender and keep reminding yourself that it is not you who gave yourself whatever you are doing, but the work was begun by God. But yeah, guys, that was my story about Saudi Arabia. There's a lot, but that was it, guys. It wasn't really bad, and I think also involving God in everyday decision also contributed to my experience in Saudi Arabia, because I remember, even in the midst of my pain and anger, I still wanted God to be in control. The way you tell God, you know what, God, I'm gonna do this, but I still want you beside me. And I've said this before, there's a time I thought, before I went to church. Before, like, my flight was the following day, like today, I went to church and I asked God, please, God, there's no backing off, I'm gonna do this. But because I've heard stories about this place and I've made my decision, and I know that there is nothing that is impossible with you, please, God, go before me, make every crooked way straight for me. And that was my prayer. And I told God that when I come back to Kenya safe and sound, and my family is okay and everything is okay, and I'm alive, I'm gonna say thank you. I'm gonna come back to the same altar and I'm gonna say thank you, you know. And I think that was a very good prayer, because God listens and God hears our prayers. And he went before me, and things could have been worse, but because God was present, because God was there with me, and I'd already committed my journey and my stay there to God, I think that's why it was not bad. And I would like to tell anyone who is maybe attempting to make that kind of a decision, first of all, ask yourself the reason as to why you're doing that. Give yourself the good reasons as to why don't be like me, making his decisions out of nonsense, because right now I'll call it nonsense, but just do it with a good reason, and my battery is flushing. So we're gonna end it right there, because already that girl looks cute. We look cute. We look cute, guys. We look beautiful. I'm so happy. Thank you for engaging me. Thank you for listening to my story. And thank you. And if you have experienced something different or something similar to that, please comment in the section below. Remember to subscribe if you haven't. Please let me know your thoughts on this video. Kindly share this video. Let people know there's a channel called Betty Kanja. You know, guys, because we are getting to a 1,000 subscribers before the end of this year, and I'm gonna take this opportunity also to wish you a Merry Christmas. Oh my God, it's already Christmas. So guys, just spreading vibes, good vibes during this Christmas, because we're just a few days to December. Today is 28. Yeah, today is 28th, Saturday. So yeah, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love you. I love you. Mwah. Bye.